Amidst dense vegetation are hidden worlds and artifacts. Some of the most interesting stories revolve around those involving mysterious creatures. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 mysterious jungle discoveries. The mysterious Titanoboa. One of the most giant land creatures of the ancient world that, according to some people, still resides deep in the jungles of the Amazon rainforest is the Titanoboa. Scientists have found ancient fossils of the Titanoboa that indicate that this massive snake could grow up to a length of 42 feet. According to researchers, the fossils of the Titanoboa are around 60 million years old. However, many local people from native tribes claim to have seen the monstrous snake in various parts of the Amazon rainforest. Scientists believe that the vast unexplored jungles of the Amazon are home to many undiscovered species, and that the Titanoboa could be one of them. The Amazon rainforest is so dense that sunlight's unable to reach 95% of the soil in the rainforest. The closely grown trees and plants block the sunlight from ever reaching the soil. Moreover, there are many places in the Amazon where flash floods happen quite often. Some native tribes still believe that this monstrous snake lives near the waterways in the rainforest. There are many people belonging to the native tribes of the rainforest and its surrounding areas who claim to have seen a Titanoboa. Some animal experts have dismissed these sightings. They're of the opinion that it's possible that some of these sightings were actually some other large snakes, like an anaconda. However, this theory becomes an issue when looking at the longest anaconda snake that's ever been caught, which is only around 28 feet long. Many researchers believe that it would be nearly impossible for a person to mistake an anaconda for a Titanoboa, as the two snakes are very different. A Titanoboa is much larger in size. According to one researcher, it could actually grow up to 150 feet, assuming it was provided with suitable conditions. The rainforest is an ideal place for a giant snake like the Titanoboa to live, survive, and grow. There's plenty of available food, the terrain is swampy in many places, and there are many large waterways. The biggest factor that makes the Amazon ideal habitat for the Titanoboa is the fact that most of the rainforest is unexplored by humans. Without interference from human beings, the rainforest and the creatures that reside in it have been able to thrive over the course of thousands of years. A few reports of the Titanoboa have surfaced from across the planet. Back in 1959, when the Belgian Air Force occupied the Democratic Republic of Congo, a man by the name of Remy van Leerd made a startling discovery. This was whilst he was flying above the rainforest of the Congo. There were 3 people on this flight: himself, a pilot, and a photographer. They were attempting to get surveillance information of the forest below them on their journey to another military base. This was when Remy noticed what appeared to be a large snake, over 50 feet in length and lifting its body more than 10 feet high. Reportedly, he told the pilot to turn around so they could get better photographs of the creature. It's reported that everybody on board was worried as the snake was able to lift its body close to the helicopter. The pilot had the helicopter far too close to the ground, and the snake might have seen them as a threat. This has caused many to suggest that what they encountered that day was a large Titanoboa. There's one photograph that exists of the creature, but many have said that it's too hard to make out the creature's true size. Some have suggested the event was covered up by the military, as the only testimony is that of Remy's, despite there being other passengers on the flight. Since the sighting, there have been many other claims from tourists in the region. They say that these giant snakes do get seen every so often, and that they can lift their bodies more than 10 feet in the air, and are somewhere between 30 to 40 feet in length. Given snakes at such sizes did exist in the prehistoric past, this could very well be a surviving descendant of the Titanoboa, and it's somehow managed to exist in the oxygen-rich areas of the Congo Basin. As of today, people are still reporting these mysterious giant snakes, and some of the most common areas to see these giants is that of the Amazon and the Congo. No other explanations exist for these continued sightings to this day. The ancient Kongamato. Seen as the modern-day pterosaur, sightings of a Kongamato have been reported all throughout Africa. As well as reported strange encounters with the creature, many have been left wondering if the creature managed to survive in the modern day. The name Kongamato roughly translates to the breaker of boats, as many natives claim to have been attacked by these flying creatures when they ventured too close to nearby rivers and deeper waters. Some claims range from its wingspan being 4 feet to 100 feet wide, and natives have described the creature to be a perfect description to that of the pterosaur of ancient times, despite lacking the education of prehistoric flying reptiles and their appearances. Although many of the sightings of these creatures are limited to the Congo, there are several reported cases that stretch as far as Papua New Guinea and all across Africa. Additionally, when European travellers were visiting these regions in the hopes of colonization or trade, they wrote extensively about encountering winged creatures, of which often attacked their crew and carried away any fresh corpses on their travels. Given the wide expanses of the jungle of the Congo being widely unexplored, as well as it housing a large number of different bird species, as well as larger flying species, it could very well be the case that the Kongamato is a direct descendant of a surviving species of pterosaur. Some believe these creatures may have somehow survived the extinction event and are now living in these remote regions. The Lost City of Gold, El Dorado. Argued by many different historians and archaeologists from around the world is that of the Lost City of Gold, or as it's more commonly known as, El Dorado. Some have reported that this mysterious city is nothing more than an old myth and legend for amateur treasure hunters and adventuring enthusiasts. The Lost City of Gold, known as El Dorado, is still widely debated in its existence and purpose in history. This has, however, changed in recent times, as a variety of long-believed mythical cities, built by the many different tribes of Native Americans, have been discovered hidden deep in the South American jungles. The majority of hidden artifacts in jungles across the world can't be detected by even the best satellite technology of the modern era. This means that this ancient city has been a difficult task for modern-day archaeologists and researchers to locate. Not only this, but in the last few hundred years, myths of the city have led countless men throughout the 16th and 17th century to a hopeless end. Originally, legends told of an entire functioning city built from the ground up out of pure gold. This city, therefore, would have been home to some of the world's most impressive jewels. It's been suggested by researchers that the city is located somewhere at the top of the remote Andes mountain, in the region that is now present-day Colombia. When the first European settlers visited the region, they found the remnants of a tribe located at Lake Guatavita. They noted that they would celebrate every year by conducting a strange ceremony. This tribe believed there to be a god living at the bottom of the lake. They would cover a man in gold dust before having him throw all the gold and precious jewels they had harvested that year into the lake. This was in order to appease the god that lived in the water. This ritual continued for what was believed to be centuries. However, when the settlers searched the lake, they only found a small amount of gold and treasure, whereas there should have been more to fill that area. It was then believed that perhaps the City of Gold, called El Dorado, which is a name that refers to the gilded man covered from head to toe in gold dust, was created by the gold in the lake. A few centuries thereafter, many went in search of this mysterious city, but nothing more was ever found. Since archaeologists in the modern era have combed the lake, they found intricately made gold artifacts and jewels that many ancient astronaut theorists argue could have only been created with knowledge of advanced technologies. This has led many to speculate that perhaps the gods living in the water were real, and that they have been the original creators of the City of Gold hidden somewhere in the mountains. Still, nothing more has been discovered in recent years, and given the dangers of the region and the political instability of the government, further exploration of the area is nearly impossible to achieve. So what do you make of these mysterious discoveries made in the jungles of our world? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community, whilst working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.